we are back out in a familiar location for myself, but one that I've not actually brought Caitlin with. We're potentially up for 2 nights as well in the same place, so it kind of goes against a bit of the wild camping kind of principles of arrive late, leave early, but we'll see how we go with this one. Just that the weather's, we're at the end of August, so it's the last weekend in August, and the weather's looking absolutely perfect for the next night or so, and we just, neither of us have really got much in us for doing like a long hike or a walk, so this seems like the best place to do it. We've not had a chilled camp for a while, so I'll add footage as we go along of this, whatever we end up doing, but I can tell you now, packed to the rafters full of kindling and extra kit. I'll give you a first little glimpse back behind us. You can probably tell straight away for the ones who know the area exactly where I am, but we'll save it for later. One thing I'm going to say, I was here about 2 weeks ago in this location for work, and while I was there, I decided to build a fire pit because there was already like scorch in the ground, but I thought, well, I'll actually make a proper fire pit so it can be used better and more, better for the environment, so to speak. So that's what we've done. So I'm hoping it's still there, and if it is, that's the plan of the next day or so, is then cook our meals on it and have ourselves a proper little outdoor fire. So yeah, like I say, I'll finish off where we are and we'll join you back at our little camp. We've only got a couple of meters to walk till we get there, and then we're going to get set up for the night at least. Right, we'll join you back in a couple of minutes for us, in about 10 seconds on the video.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free with me. Looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Oh, take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free.
see fire bits just been stocked up a wee bit. It was actually pretty similar to how I had left it here a few weeks ago, but I've just added on a little pizza tray now, which I can use for cooking all sorts in that one, quite handy. And then we'll get that on, and we'll just pretty much let it burn now for the next day or so. We'll just keep topping up as we go. In case I haven't already mentioned it, we're at St Mary's Loch, so we've got part of our bedding in already. We're in nice and early. I would expect this place to have a fair few campers as the evening goes on and tomorrow. But we're claiming this little area for ourselves. We're going to get a tarp set up as well, so we can sit under the stars later on tonight. Maybe even an Aurora over the weekend, who knows. But for now, let's get some heat in here, and then we can start doing some cooking. We've got some lovely food to cook tonight. Lovely food. Yes. Oh. Got my patterned and midgie sticks on the go. Oh. Or just getting rid of any wee midgets kicking around. There's a few of them. I mean, we've had a few days of crap weather, so you can expect them to start coming out now that that awful rain that we had for the last few days is going away. Just made some burgers. So we've like I say, we've got enough food to last a couple of days, all cooking on the fire, but we've also got a couple of meals just in case we need them, but we shouldn't do. And then over in the water, we've made up a fridge. I'll show you at some point. We don't need to show you everything about the camp right now, because I think we're in it for the long haul. We're going to kick about here tomorrow, I think, and make use of the sun and just get a bit of tan. Watching the cars race each other up and down the road there. Yeah, lovely wee campsite. I think we'll easy wee check back in later on. Hopefully starry night for us to get some photos. That'd be nice. There's absolutely no wind tonight, which weirdly does actually pose a bit of a problem, because it means that the fire doesn't have one part of its fire triangle. And if you remember at school, there's 3 parts to the fire triangle, and the part about the oxygen is what's not getting. So I'm having to keep putting a bit of air through it using the old flex tail, which works quite well. But what it does mean though is it means that this is like a mirror behind us, absolutely stunning right now. I mean, I've come up here a few times when it's been kind of like this, but I don't think I've ever seen it as still as this. And the forecast is for tomorrow is to be virtually the same in terms of wind, but by the morning, no clouds at all, and have a whole day with just sun, which is then going to be the Saturday. So this is Friday at the moment for us. We had a long weekend off. So that's the plan, is get up here tonight, get settled in, and then we've set up our tarp and all that jazz, and literally it's going to sunbathe. Make use of what's probably going to be the last of the kind of high teens weather before we get into kind of autumn season for Scotland. Yeah, we're going to have a wee hot chocolate soon. Make use of the fire. Put it on a wee titanium mug that I've got, and then settle down for the night once the wee lights go on, and I'll show you a full camp setup as the video goes on. Obviously the MSR Elixir 2 once again. That's the go-to tent for when we come out as a pair. And I would expect this little area that we've got at the moment to have a few camps possibly tomorrow night, because it is Saturday night and it's a busy night. You can already see, if I show you behind me, there's a little fire pit going on behind me. Someone's out there, and then over at the Tibby Shields campsite, there's a ton of folk over there. There's got a few folk on a Friday night, but up here on a Saturday night, it's kind of like Glencoe, really busy. But we've got our place sticked out, and we're going to be absolutely fine. Aye, lovely night, eh? Lovely night. Good morning from St Mary's Loch. A lovely morning. As you've probably seen already, the cloud's more of a cloud inversion. It's like 100 metres or so up, and then it's just blue skies above us. Sun's just behind us there, on its way over. So
popped the fire on about half hour or so ago, get some heat in it. Just going to boil up some water, get some coffees, and then that'll be us getting settled in for the day. I'm going to have to nip home at some point, but I'm going to talk about why I'm doing that. It's a bit of a camping gear related thing here, but other than that, we can get settled in for what's going to be, what should be an absolute awesome day at the Loch side. Right. Yeah, sea dancer. A couple of breakfast rolls to start the day. As already mentioned, I had to nip to Moffat. I will explain why later on. Let's do a bit of kit failure, but for now we're just going to be eating, enjoying the sun, and then just keeping that fire stoked all day while we just snack and eat. Yeah, enjoying this lovely view. Yeah, can't beat it, eh? So earlier on I mentioned that I had to do a quick stop back to Moffat, and the reason being was because of these things here. So I don't think I've mentioned this at all before, or I might have done in one of the videos, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I got this Keelos gear mat at the start of the winter, and that was supposed to be for Caitlin, since we both have a high quality mat to sleep on. This is an R-rated 5 as well, so pretty much will handle most winter conditions. And obviously by the time I put my foil blanket that I always do, job's good. Within 2 uses, I had at least 3 holes I've had to spring and sort, which did seem to have done the job. However, when I contacted Keelos to say about it, they then kindly sent me a brand new one, which isn't going down as fast, but of last night, it's definitely been going down. In fact, all the little things here are all warped as well. I'm not at all impressed. So I was in the real world, it's like, well, what do you do about it? You know, last night we had one of these, sorry, it was the new one, and every 90 minutes or so it was more or less flat, so I had to keep finding air to put it back in again. I went and got this one, which was repaired, which was supposed to be fine, but it's now must have got another new leak somewhere. So between the two of them, this one's coming down. The guy only pumped this one up 15 minutes ago, and it's already nearly flat. That one, you can see it's starting to ripple, but it'll take its time because it hasn't got any weight on it. That one without weight is still going down. So what I will say is that's 2 for 2 on the Keelos gear Aeros mats. So I wouldn't touch these with a barge pole again. My Sea Summit Etherlite XT, had that for about 3 years now. Never ever had a issue at all with it. So yeah, pretty frustrated at that. Annoyingly, I've got a 4th class one at home. That's rated 3.4R, and just out of the pure fact that I wanted one that looked the same as ours and had the same fit, I went for these. Whereas in hindsight, I've never had a problem with 4th class gear or decathlon gear. Should have stuck with that, because these have proven to be a pain at the arse, and it's meant that in maybe the last 6 camps we've had together, you could probably say at least 3 of them now have been ruined because of sleep mats. No, Yeah, so that's why I'd go back to Moffat. Anyway, we're going to try and work out what we're going to do about this for the rest of the evening. That's not fair. Can't really have her on the floor again.
We'll find it better than carrot.
So that's the sun just set behind the hills over there on our second night. It's at Mary's Loch. Since the last time I spoke in the camera, we got a wee delivery. My 4-class mat that I mentioned. I actually leave my door open, believe it or not. So it's handy to get in my house if you know the code. So I'd got someone to go and grab a mat for us. So fingers crossed that's fine. And Caitlin's got a mat that's got a bit of air in it tonight. And we'll deal with the whole kilos gear thing at some point in the next few days. I mean, we've just been chilling the last few hours, having a few drinks, chatting, etc. You know, just enjoying what, as you can see, has been just a glorious, glorious day. I'm sure I've dropped little bits of footage here or there, just 10-second clips, just to add a little bit. But I didn't want to film too much, just because, you know, we're just trying to enjoy a camp. Say I'll give you a bit more star footage in tonight, and hopefully we get another wee bits of Aurora. We've had a couple of amber alerts, not quite as high as last night's, but you never know. But barring that, you know, we're just going to make some s'mores now and continue our little evening waiting for the stars to come out. Lovely. Good morning for the second time at St Mary's Loch. So different weather yet again. It's all cloudy, it's high clouds, it's not like an inverted cloud, it's just going to be a cloudy day. Goes back to what we've said in previous videos about you don't seem to be able to get 2 days in a row this year, which is why we ended up going with less driving time. So you know, typically this is things we'd maybe gone up to Highlands for or gone a summit camp, but you know, we just wanted to maximise the sun for the change and just get out and enjoy what it was, which we did. Just lovely, you know, chilled camp that we've had. So we're going to get everything dismantled and put back pretty much as it was. Obviously, fire pit's going to be left where it is. If you see around, you'll see that there's lots of these little fire scorches in the ground here, which is not ideal. But rather than completely resetting the ground, I mean, it's one of the ones you can come around and reset it. However, this place is always going to get people camping. It's used for the Southern Upland Way. It's got its own little area. So you kind of, you know, rather than fighting it too much, I mean, what they did over there, they did actually build pits for people to use, but then, of course, then you get people come along who dismantle it just for no reason. Whereas I kind of feel this is a bit more out of the way, that they shouldn't really dismantle anything. And then it means that you've actually got somewhere you can cook and use without it adding on extra fire pits, if that makes sense. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to get back to way. Should be gone in 10-15 minutes, and that's the place back to normal. Oh, and that's us back at the car. So obviously a good way to end the adventure. 2 nights away, which feels like we've been on a bit of a holiday with the amount of sun we've got, but it's 15 miles away from the house. And we've also passed through another month, so we're now in September. So probably maybe a couple more weeks of potentially warmer weather before we start getting it cooler again, and maybe a month or so before we might get our first bit of frost and then snow. So anyway, I'm going to sign out there with the backdrop of the Loch of the Lows. We were camping up there, back there, and that's St Mary's Loch. Anyway, for me, Robert Moffat Adventures, hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll check back in the next one, whatever that may be. Take care and goodbye.